Hi, good morning. It's a reasonably good start to trade once again in the equity markets with the Nifty 50 gaining at this point about 0.2%, quarter of a percent in fact. And it's trading at 15,246 comfortably at this point above that 15,200 mark, and in fact not too far away from its all-time high, but getting there it's facing a bit of resistance above the 15,250 mark. In fact, the highest point that it reached today is 15,258 or thereabouts. Now, it is a bit of a listless session in that you don't see very many big moves, and we'll get to that. In fact, let's look at the Nifty 50 constituents. About 35 of them are gaining at this juncture. The biggest gainer is Titan, gaining about 2.65%. The likes of Grasim, UPL, SBI Life, Cipla, Sun Pharma. So a couple of pharma names. SBI is doing well in trade today as well. All of those names that I mentioned are doing quite well on the upside. On the losing end, you have JSW Steel, Tata Steel that's losing ground. I'll get to why in just a bit. Power Grid Corporation is losing ground after quite a few decent sessions over the past week and a half or so. 1.8% lower for that counter. Hindalco is down about 1%. And you see a few of these private banks also that are losing further ground in fact today. ICICI Bank, Kotak and HDFC Bank all down about 0.5% each. Now, the metals pack is actually quite interesting to speak about, because while you get differing views in the market and people have different perspectives as to how things will pan out, what exactly is happening, Credit Suisse in a note has reversed its overweight stance on the metals pack. And specifically on steel counters, and they have said that they believe that what is currently happening is not a commodity super cycle but a commodity inventory cycle playing out. So a shortage of inventory earlier, and then that is essentially something that is an imbalance that has to be corrected right now. Demand is high, inventories are not as much, and so, well, you get the picture. But essentially this is what is playing out with regard to the metal counters. They've also said they've switched from Tata Steel to Hindalco, and that is quite a dramatic shift in their view as far as the metal counter. It is, I would say, it's actually contrarily opposite to what a lot of other people are saying in terms of the metals pack. Now, what are the sectors telling you? The Nifty Bank is flat at this juncture. You have the metals pack that is down about 1%. The others are doing reasonably well for themselves. Auto, FMCG, IT, media, pharma and realty, all of them gaining in trade. Not very big moves. Media is up about 1.5%. The realty pack is up about 1.3%, but not really too much to write home about. The mid cap and the small cap index are once again outperforming the benchmark. We'll actually have to see how far that trend continues. And very interestingly, foreign institutions have actually turned buyers in 5 out of the 6 of the last sessions that you've seen. So that's a reversal of a trend that you've seen almost throughout the month. They're still net sellers for the month, if I'm not mistaken, with about 8,000, close to 9,000 crore rupees sold on a net basis. They're not going to overturn that in all probability, but at least they're reducing that deficit substantially over the last several days, in fact, over the last 6 days or so. Well, that's more or less what you have as how trade is looking right now. BPCL is something that you'll want to watch out for on the earnings front, and that will come out later today.